Video Store Rewind.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to another episode of the podcast that is known as Video Store Rewind. I am your host. My name is Rich. To my right, Zach.
Hello.
To his right, Matt.
How you doing?
Today we're going to be reviewing a little movie that was released April 26th, 1985, Just One of the Guys. It's a fun little film. It was focused on a high school senior by the name of Terry Griffin. Terry with an I / Terry with a Y. She's not only beautiful, but one of the most popular girls in her school. We learned quickly that other than her douche college boyfriend Kevin, her main passion and goal is to win the summer internship at the local newspaper from an article that she submitted in her writing class. She's later devastated to learn that she does not win and is overlooked in favor of some dudes.
Is that the premise, like the you can't do it because you're a girl?
Yeah, exactly. She quickly finds out that sexism is involved, so she does what the only logical thing that someone would do. She quits school and rolls across town as Terry Griffin with a Y.
This is high school?
High school.
She quits high school?
She quits high school and rolls into the school across town and changes her name from Terry with an I, hot chick, to Terry with a Y, cool dude. A little bit of Elvis Costello mixed in there, I guess. She resubmits the paper, and guess what? They say it's boring, and it doesn't work. So it's
30
all
minutes
for
in.
nothing. Yes, all for nothing. Misadventures occur. At the end, we do get to see some amazing tits. My microphone is falling. Please excuse the noise, everybody. We've got mad on it. We've got mad on it. We've got mad on it. It's an absolute classic. One of my favorites from my childhood. I can't say that you guys might have enjoyed it too much. Oh man, I'm just thinking about all the stuff that happens in this movie and how unrealistic that it is. Are you being sarcastic there?
I said our podcast is already off to a stunning
We've
start.
got Joyce Heiser as Terry, Clayton Rohner as best friend / love interest Rick Morehouse. I think all of our personal favorite, I'm not sure, Billy Jacoby as the horniest little brother on planet Earth.
He's
named
great.
Buddy.
He's great.
And William Billy Zabka playing the school douche / bully Greg Tolan. We might know him from such movies as Karate Kid 1, Karate Kid 2.
Get him a body bag, Johnny?
Get him a body bag, Johnny. That's my quick little synopsis. If we could just take ourselves back in time and transport ourselves into 1985, Zach will take us there.
Oh, for sure, but not without a word from our sponsor. This week's podcast is brought to you by our friends at Farmer Jack, reminding all of our listeners that it's always savings time at Farmer Jack. And don't forget that for every purchase, you can earn double frequent flyer miles redeemable for any Northwest Airlines flight in the United States, except for Alaska and Hawaii, the freak states.
Fucking freak states. Yeah. I got this beer from Farmer Jack earlier, and I saved probably $4 or $5.
Good. Well, onto that flashback. So, basically, this is the year 1985, where the average American may have been listening to Careless Whisper by Wham! In their Ford F-150 on their way to the local cinema to see Back to the Future, all with enough time to get home and catch the newest episode of The Cosby Show.
Oh, the pudding.
And Matt, pudding popped. And Matt, why don't you tell us what kinds of toys and games the kids were into?
You'd definitely be playing Capcom's 1985 release of Ghosts and Goblins. Where, yeah, remember you play as Arthur. You can only jump in one direction. It made it one of the hardest video games of all time. And some toys would be the Pogo Ball. Do you guys remember the Pogo Ball? Looked like Saturn.
I thought that was
stood on it. It was like a shitty basketball with a little platform.
Right. The platform looked like Saturn. You stuck your feet and then you bounced.
Moon boots. I'm sorry.
It was very difficult.
And skateboarding, which became popular after Back to the Future.
Really?
And that's all I have.
Oh, wow. Skateboarding after Back to the Future.
It became popular after.
That makes perfect sense.
You two go with Back to the Future. Well, I'm going to go right back to 1985. Go to the box office where our movie, the classic film number 72 out of 180 movies released in 1985.
That's not so good, Richie.
It's great. With the top 10, I'll go through real quick. What do you think's number one? Of course, Back to the Future, $210,609,762. We'll go all the way down to, we'll go to 10, the polar opposite here, Spies Like Us, which brought in $60,088,980.
That was what number was that?
10.
Okay.
That was number 10. Sylvester Stallone had a great year because 2 was Rambo: First Blood Part 2, $150 million.
John Rambo.
3 is Rocky 4, $127 million.
Rocky Intravenous.
4, The Color Purple. 5, Out of Africa. 6, Cocoon. 7, The Jewel of the Nile. 8, Harrison Ford, I believe, was in this one. The Witness. 9, The Goonies. That was pretty low for what I thought.
Love Goonies.
Honorable mentions got to go with number 11, which was Police Academy 2, their first assignment, which brought in $55 million.
Police Academy.
Yep.
I'm looking at your same list here. It says Mask, but I realize it's not The Mask. It's it's Mask with Rocky Dennis. And
Yes, with Cher. Yes.
Yeah.
Which
Ooh,
was
Pee-wee's Big Adventure was that year.
based on a true
looked.
story.
That's
Correct.
awesome.
Pee-wee's Adventure was 85?
85, yeah.
Man.
Oh, the first time that Tim Burton and Danny Elfman had ever worked together.
That was I just showed that to my kids. They loved it. They loved it. They especially like the trippy scenes where the dinosaurs are eating the bike.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Super cool.
Yeah, no, that's all I got for the box office. Number 101 released that year is He-Man and She-Ra: The Secret of the Sword.
Oh my god! Nice. Was it animated or was it live action?
It was animated.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was animated.
Like,
I guess I've heard through other podcasts that back in the day they would have specials, and they would link it with it air on TV and also be a theatrical release and stuff like that, which I thought was pretty cool. Yeah, we'll move on. Steamrolling ahead, we're gonna go ahead and talk about just one of the guys again. We've got
Was
Terry.
this one that you chose?
This is my pick. Yes.
Yours? Okay.
This is Richie's pick.
Shit.
Right.
It's shit. It's shit. Okay.
I like it.
I still like it too,
Well, the
but
80s
it's
wouldn't
shit.
exist without movies like that.
Yes,
Exactly.
exactly.
Yeah, perfect.
Again, we've got Joyce Heiser. She's playing Terry Griffith. She wants to win this internship at the local paper. She finds out she doesn't. She suspects sexism was involved. So she does, like I said, what any logical thinking person would do is she changes her identity, quits school, and enrolls across town as Terry with a Y Griffin, which was just super ingenious. I mean, that's some Mission Impossible shit right there. I've seen this movie 15,000 times. This is my 15,001th time.
I've seen it a handful of times.
Once.
I had to buy it from YouTube. Matt had to buy it from YouTube, and I don't know.
I found it on the streaming site.
I
Did
could
you?
not find it.
I could not get that shit to work.
I was in a
on
hotel in
anything.
Elkhart, and the Wi-Fi was terrible. I had to buy it on
I couldn't
YouTube.
find it anywhere.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, it certainly did.
So let's
Tweet
Yeah,
Joyce
you've already
Heiser. I need $2.
I know,
whole
no,
plot there.
$2.99.
$2.99.
So you explain what happens as far as the premise. Do we want to explain how the rest of it ends?
Yeah, we can go right ahead with that, man.
Yeah. Well, just so we know.
Who directed it?
Who directed it?
Jewel Gottlieb?
Jewel Gottlieb.
Wait, Julie...
Not Jeff Franklin?
I'm sorry, Lisa Gottlieb.
No, he was a producer.
Jeff Franklin was?
If you
Oh, okay.
notice, if you guys
Lisa
ever get a
Gottlieb.
chance to watch this movie, you'll watch the beginning of the movie and you'll look at this font, which you're like, man, that font looks familiar. It's because you saw it your entire childhood. It is the font from Full House, and then you look and you see, oh, Jeff Franklin's the producer. Who do you think the creator and producer of Full House was? Jeff Franklin.
I was going to guess someone else.
Also, Puppet Master versus the Demonic Toys.
Really?
Yeah.
He's got to have some kind of is the word affinity or affection towards that yellow bubble font. Well, it's just not a coincidence that happened twice.
I wonder if you can Google Full House font and then it'll pop
yeah,
up. Because I
definitely.
Googled Blade Runner font. It came up pretty fucking fast.
yeah.
I found that too.
I googled Home Alone font because I made a.
Is that just Times New Roman?
I have no idea. I really don't. I don't know my fonts. I'm not fucking Steve Jobs, dude.
Steve Jobs. R.I.P.
He used to produce Hanging with Mr. Cooper as well.
Ooh, I liked Hanging.
That wasn't bad.
I didn't have anything against
Malcolm
that show.
and Eddie, Stuart Little.
Okay, all right. So the opening, we have to just point out that the opening is her room. It's plastered with posters all over the place, and they're like 90% Bruce Springsteen. As I got older, through Google, I find out that Bruce Springsteen was definitely 15 inches inside of that through the 80s.
Jeez.
Was that like a plug for him, do you think? Was it during that time?
Oh, yeah.
She
was boning him while
She
that
was a
going
babe.
on.
How old was she? Do we know how old she was when the movie was shot?
No, but if I had to guess, I would say 23.
23?
That's my guess.
Joyce Heiser.
We've got the data man here. He's gonna call his sources.
Well, she was born in 57, so it took place in 85. So she was 28.
Wow.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Wait, is that right?
No, I'm not good at
85
math.
minus 57.
I'm just going to agree with you.
Yeah, man, that sounds fucking great,
32.
dude.
She looked great.
30. Yeah, no, 28. Wow.
So she's
wow,
28?
She's pretty old for a high school student.
She looked young,
always
though.
are.
She did look young, yeah.
Especially when she cut her hair.
She did. She
Turned
did
into a
look
guy.
young. Yeah, she did look young. Yeah, Bruce Springsteen posters all over the place. Okay, so then her douche boyfriend rolls up, and I think he's driving a BMW or Mercedes. His name's Kevin.
Oh, he's definitely that uppity, hoity-toity. Like,
Oh, God.
I
Terrible.
forbid you to go to the high school dance.
He is terrible, and my one note says, how old is this guy? Because this guy looks like he's about 43, and he's supposed to be like a freshman or a
But
sophomore
he's younger
in
than Joyce
college.
Heiser in the movie.
It's disgusting. He's a total douche.
And I didn't understand. So she's supposed to be. She seems like she has a lot of character and like a good person, but she's dating a complete prick,
And she knows it.
and she doesn't seem to care.
No.
But
she
she's
doesn't
kinda-
care.
She's,
It just
kinda,
doesn't make
she's not
sense.
obsessed with him, but she's kind of like, oh, that's Kevin. You know,
Yeah, she's.
I think
got a
she's
little
just
flutter
obsessed
in
with
her
the
heart for
idea.
him.
I think she's obsessed with the idea of dating a college age guy because she is so popular and everyone looks up to her at school. It seems like.
So she got sick of the high school boys,
Yeah,
maybe.
like
Yeah.
none of the high
Realized
school
she
boys were
graduated
good
college
enough.
7 years ago.
like that Drew Barrymore movie.
Like I said, Terry's very popular. Her BFF is a chick named Denise.
Who's also equally
And
as hot.
Denise
I
is
believe.
like, I don't know who to go to prom with. Like 7 people asked me, and so she's naming all the people that asked her to prom. And the name that sticks out to me is he's not a character in the movie, but Roger Gibbler. Okay,
Gibbler.
So Jeff Franklin's going to produce this movie. The font's going to be the same, and how are you just going to?
There's
come up with
got to
the
be a
name There's
Gibbler in his
Gibbler
family.
connection.
There's got to be a
really
Gibbler.
shitty game called 6 Degrees of Jeff Franklin.
Okay.
You can only play it so many times.
So, they're going through that, and then they bring up the summertime job at the Sun Tribune, which is the local paper that I don't call her Joyce, but Terry wants to work with. There's a scene she finds out she's not going to get it, but why she's
Right. That's what I was going to
Yeah.
say. Is this the part where she walks in and overhears
Yes.
them talking about her ass or something like that?
She's looking into the paper. She's in the teacher's office, and she's looking over the papers. And the 2 teachers walk in. Not her journalism boss, not her writing teacher, but a guy that's with her is like, "Did you see what Terry wore to school today?" Like,
She's listening to this the entire
yes,
time.
she's in the room
super
listening,
creepy.
and he says something fucking dirtbag. And the writing teacher, he doesn't really say anything. He just says, "You're gonna lose your job talking like that," and and then they have a good laugh about it. That's when it just hits her in the head, like, oh man, I just need to cut my hair, pretend I'm a dude, and go to a different school. This will all work out for me.
Well, no, don't forget the fact that instead of like her ass comment, she said, "What's wrong with my wardrobe?"
Yeah, exactly.
I just overheard a bunch of creepy old ass men
Yes.
talking about
it's like
my ass. And,
well, you should. It's not my fault. You shouldn't have been wearing something like that. It's like, no, you're a creep.
but what's wrong with my wardrobe?
You're a fucking creep. So then we come to a scene where they're at home, and it's explained to us that the Griffins, the parents, are gone for 2 weeks, and Terry.
Did you say that was explained? Because I beg to differ.
It's not really explained, but I have it in my notes because Buddy brings it up. He says,
says
"Mom and Dad are gone for 2 weeks." They don't say why.
Gone where? For what?
They are on a cruise. They're on a Wham cruise.
Oh
I don't
my
know. It doesn't say, but
Well, the screenwriters were
We know
probably
they're
like,
gone.
we don't really, you know what? It's the 80s. We don't need
I'm
an
guessing they're at a
excuse.
hotel or something because they're in contact with their kids, and cell phones weren't exactly
Exactly.
a
The
hot
audience
commodity.
doesn't give a shit about where the parents
No,
are.
Exactly.
But we're introduced to
Except
the
for
idea,
the phone conversations.
We're
Yeah.
introduced to the idea that they're gone for 2 weeks, and we are introduced to Buddy, who is the horniest little brother in the history of horny little brothers. He's going through puberty, and all he wants to do is.
I'll almost go as far as saying the horniest guy I've seen in an 80s movie.
He does
Was it
everything but
established-
actually hump a leg, right?
Was it established that he was still a virgin? Or
Yes.
was
Yes.
he-
Yes.
Okay.
No. He tries telling Terry that he has, in fact, had sex, and everyone. You just know.
But he's
But
it's
now he wants
bullshit.
to. Well, didn't you say got to try it? But now I just need to do it with a person.
Yeah, something.
That's
like
something
that.
like that along the lines.
He
Yes.
literally has dozens of Playboys on his bed. Like they went
They're like on his wall.
all
They're
lengths
all
to make sure that we
over the
understood
place.
his level of,
Which is funny because later on in the movie, Terry has to convince that chick that comes in that's her room, and it's actually pretty funny because
Oh, yeah.
the girl's like, "Wow, there's a ton of tits
Well,
all
then
over your wall."
Let's,
No,
let's
you're
all
so,
keep in mind that
what's
we
the
said there
word?
were no cell phones earlier, but there was no internet, so he just he can't hit
Correct,
Pornhub
yeah,
up, so
yeah.
he's
she's
like,
really into objectification of women.
The female body is
he,
cute. That's weird.
But my favorite quote that he says regarding being horny was, well, she said, "Aren't you embarrassed by your behavior?" And he said, "Horny will kick embarrassment's ass any day of the week."
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
I like when he's going through this gigantic stack of Playboys that he has, and there's a comic book, which, you know, you're a kid. I enjoy comic books. And he looks at the comic book, and you think he's going to say, like, oh, cool. He's like, how'd this get in here? And he throws it to the side. Yeah. Like, you fucking... What is this piece of shit doing here?
How did this get here?
Boobs in it.
So I got Terry's douche boyfriend, very unsympathetic to the fact that she did not win the internship. Like,
right, and basically told her that you should be a model. Like you don't have any talent other than looking good.
And then we wonder why
he's kind of sexist,
today
and she's saying that the sexism is unfair, but she's dating someone.
Right, it's And then back to another thing that we've talked about before of these 80s movies is in 1985 or 4, the legal drinking age changed from 18 to 21.
Boo!
So Buddy, who was about 15, 16 years old, 15. He's drinking a beer, which right. wouldn't happen.
I'm still saying
movies.
It's Polliner.
No, in that one, it was a Foster's. The first one, it's a Foster's.
I don't think it's a Foster's, man. I think it's a Polliner.
It was Foster's, but then I think that was a goof in the movie. Like the next scene, it was like a continuity error. He was holding a different beer, and it was just beer.
Wasn't he? And then you
and what I found out was that
was the next. That was the next scene. That was another scene.
That was another scene.
The beer, yeah.
When they were at the campfire, like a campfire or something.
And there's another one
too. Why couldn't they
too.
come up with like even a label that sort of looks like a real beer? But apparently the generic beer was real, and it was a white can with light blue letters that said beer on it. And that was it.
And the can that he was originally holding, which I still think is a Polliner, I looked up Foster's. Foster's never had a white can.
Okay.
So that's why I'm like, it looked like a Polliner.
I'm pretty sure I'm like almost 100% that it was a Foster's, dude.
And apparently that type of beer was generic.
I'm not paying $2.99 to find out if it was a fucking Foster's again. Just so we're all aware.
Apparently it was true because in the sluggish economy they created that beer so that it was affordable, and obviously kids those age would probably be drinking that beer, so it would make sense.
It would make sense. Okay, yeah,
right.
Yeah. So
that's what I remember him drinking.
I'd have to look at it again, but yeah, that looks. I mean, that looks
fine.
Right.
No, I'm sure it was. I think it was an oil can, but oil can. So Terry commits to the idea that she's going to go across town to the other school and disguise herself as a guy. So she comes out and she dresses up like a dude, and she knocks on the door.
Was there a montage of her getting ready to be a dude?
Not yet. I don't think there was yet, because I think at this point she just goes to the front door and knocks on the door.
Like a pizza guy or something.
And Buddy answers the door and she's like, well, hey, is Terry here? And he's like, yeah, Terry. And then he's like, oh my God, that's you. So then they have the montage where he gives the epic ball scratching tutorial.
Stupid.
All balls itch.
All balls itch. It's a fact, is the quote. So
we forgot to bring up the fact that he's like a knockoff Corey Haim / Patrick Dempsey.
Definitely, yes.
Goofy looking.
They couldn't get those guys, so they're like, we'll get Billy Jacoby.
Yeah,
Billy Jacoby.
Billy Jane, I think he's called now.
Right?
Okay. That's what he looked like to me. It was an amazing blend of those.
During
two.
this montage, they're talking about sex, and he's, like I said, super horny. And his sister says, "Can't you think of anything more profound than getting laid?" And his response is, "Yeah, a blowjob." Zing. So she takes the greaser approach, would you say? She comes to work. She comes to school, to this new school.
Frighteningly like Ralph Macchio.
Yes.
Frightening look like.
The school slut sees him / her walking up and says, ooh, what a fox. Dresses like Elvis Costello, looks like the Karate Kid.
Yeah.
That's weird.
School slut Sandy said that, yeah.
That's the crazy sex grandma from Shameless.
Shameless, and then she was also, you told me she was on Twin Peaks?
I believe so.
I'm not sure either. So when she shows up, immediately you get introduced to Willie Zapka being the school bully. She says something I forget what the whole trade-off was, but she says something to him, and he picks her up and throws her into the bushes. When she lands in the bushes, she comes to and meets one of our second main character, right, which was Rick Morehouse, which is Terry with an I's love interest.
Yes.
But while she's Terry with an Y, with a Y, that's their best friends.
Yeah, she's just kind of like, it's we
can
can
somebody
be friends.
please give me a Terry with a a Terry with a Y.
Want some company?
Yes.
Let's get. Can you have another brewski?
Yeah, toss me another brewski.
It's like fucking
She
Tony.
says
Canadian.
brewski twice in the same.
Yeah, I remember,
5-minute
yeah.
conversation. It's so annoying.
I hate the word brewski.
No one says brewski.
It's like it's like a Tony Danza Who's the Boss impression to me.
Want some company?
Angela.
That's the only line I really know that I can do well.
Want some company?
Want some company? The guy's like, what? What the
I
fuck
have
do you want?
I have the note when she gets thrown in the bushes. It says, "Enter Rick Morehouse. He's 45. LOL." Because he looks old.
Yeah, and also
He is a little old.
he's also the not a knockoff. I guess he's an earlier version of Ryder Strong, who is Sean Hunter from Boy Meets
Yes,
World.
exactly.
Identical.
So then, I don't know if this comes first. I'm pretty sure it comes first. It's the lunchroom scene where Greg Tolan, Willie Zabka, is walking around and tormenting the nerds by doing table presses.
Yeah, lifting
Which
up the lunch. Yeah,
My entire life, I was
that a
terrified that was actually a thing in high school. I was like, I don't want to get table press.
in real life.
No,
that was one of my favorite parts of the movie. It's when he's doing the table shit. It's closer to the end, but I'm going to forget about it, is when the nerds are talking and they said, "Oh, I'm picking up something on my radar." And they go, "Oh, what is it?" He goes, "Some type of carbon-based douchebag." Oh, yeah. That was fucking funny,
those two
man.
space nerds.
They almost looked older than the rest of the cast, too.
Because they're aliens, Zach.
Oh, that's right. Does not compute.
Carbon-based douchebag.
Greg Tolan table pressing God, what a turd is what I noted.
Yeah, if you don't know who that is, it's Johnny from Karate Kid. I don't need to tell you who he looks like.
All school kids
professional
seemed
asshole.
age 11 to 35 is what I put in my notes also. Because apparently it's like off and on, super young looking kids versus kids that are not kids at all. Definitely. They're like, I don't know, like 35, 40 years old.
I hope you guys saw that Buffalo Wild Wings commercial with Willie in it.
What?
There's a recent Buffalo Wild Wings commercial.
Why?
Because they're all watching sports. He's at a different table. You don't see him yet. And the one dude's like, "Oh, excuse me, can you turn this channel? Nobody wants to watch karate." You know, it's like it's girly or whatever.
Okay.
And then Willie Zabka turns around and he's sweaty and he goes, "You don't like karate?" And the guy goes, "No, I love it. I'm actually going to involve myself in this dojo tomorrow."
Yeah.
He doesn't like karate.
They're
right
doing
here.
the new Karate Kid on YouTube, actually, with Ralph Macchio and William Zabka.
Oh, nice.
I guess
It's
they
gotta
couldn't
be-
get Ralph Macchio for the commercial.
You guys got to look that commercial up.
It's gotta
I'll do
be
it right
comedy.
now. You don't like karate?
Okay, so then we're in gym class. Everyone's dressed up for gym, and they're playing basketball. And the gym coach says something that's just could throw our whole movie plot for a loop. He says, "Shirts versus skins."
Oh, yeah.
And
Like, uh-oh.
Terry
How's she
gets
going to get
picked
it out of this?
for
Prickle.
skins.
Yeah, she tried getting out of it the first time. Remember, she was afraid to change,
Yes.
or afraid to do
He
something.
had the miraculously, as you guys had pointed
You mean
out,
like in the gym?
readily available gym clothes and shoes.
Oh.
just right there in his hand. Nope, I got you covered, bitch.
So, want some company?
She really didn't think this through. It's like, well, I got through that first day and it was hell. Wow, I have to do it for 40 more days. Like, I mean, or however many days. 2 weeks, whatever.
So she fakes a stomach pain, but she does. Oh my god, I can't do her voice. My stomach or whatever.
That's pretty good. My
stomach,
you know.
She's retched over on the floor, just holding her stomach, and she does not have to take her shirt off, which is unfortunate because she takes her shirt off later in the movie, and her tits are exceptional.
I would go further than exceptional.
Yeah, let's not talk to Zach about it because when we'll get to the lecture about Katie Holmes.
We had a breast instead of a breast augmentation. We had
Actually,
a breast
guys,
argument.
If you're more than welcome to look up the shot of the tits and tell me on a scale of 1 to 10, how good are they?
Yeah. Put it on our Facebook page. That's going.
Yeah, I'll just
been her
I'll
Facebook
just
profile
I'll fuzz out her nips. Like make them flesh tones where it just looks like a Barbie doll tit. Everyone has a beer in this movie. I noted that. This is in my notes.
Everybody
just
has a
further
beer
down.
right now.
It's
Yeah, 'cause
the
everyone likes
drinking
to party.
age change. Everybody has a beer. So she invites. She gives she gives a ride home. She gives Rick a ride home, and invites herself in because she's intrigued by Rick. She's got a little thing for Rick. So they come in and he obviously cracks open a beer because everyone's drinking.
You mean
again.
brewski?
A brewski, yeah, a brewski.
Brewski or twoski?
They go into Rick's room and listen. I'm all for it. You know what a what are artists to look up to, but he's fucking obsessed with James Brown.
Obsessed.
Obsessed. Like there is just shit.
Like Buddy's room minus the Playboy magazine,
Just replace-
plus James Brown.
I'm pretty sure there was a little cellophane baggie with the James Brown pubes in it or something.
Oh my god,
dude, he is.
I would prefer like a vial of his sweat because he sweats more than any man has ever sweated.
He
in their
is.
life.
He's
the hardest working man in
always
show business.
saturated.
he is the hardest working man in show business.
I like his obsession though, because he could be obsessed with something way more boring than James Brown.
Yeah, that's true. And he did
I'm
know a
obsessed
lot
with
about him.
football. Okay, whatever, big deal.
Yeah.
And okay, now you guys had to help me keep it moving because that's where the extent of mine went.
Well, basically,
missing.
what happens after this? They go
They're
to the
missing.
dance or the prom, right? She tries to get Rick to ask one of the girls, and he keeps getting rejected.
Oh, that's like it's not
no,
really a montage, but
they
it's
had
a montage.
They had a
right?
really
Kinda, yeah.
they had a really creepy conversation. Remember about she was like, let's talk about sex. How many girls you've been with? All this. And
tell me about it.
he got really like emotional at that part.
He clammed up on her.
He clammed up. But the reason
talk about
I have it-
sex, babe.
I have it written down right here. It says he said a friend of my mom had sex with me after I lost my dad. Remember, it was a really weird thing to comfort him.
yeah.
And I'm like, no big deal. My mom's friend fucked
sounds
me
like
after my
rape.
dad died. It does sound like rape, but he was like, yeah, it was one girl. It's like, dude, that's fucked up.
That's fucking weird.
That is fucked up.
That was probably Jeff Franklin probably added that in because Mrs. Gibbler did that to him after his dad died or something.
It's possible.
Disgusting.
So what are the
because Rick's not really 45 years old in this movie. He's 17.
It was supposed to be, I
18.
guess.
I look him up because he went on to do the Human Centipede 3.
Really?
Yes. Really.
3.
Rick
Gotta pay
did.
those bills.
What can you see? Like, okay, as a fan of horror movies, like, okay, I get it. There's a bunch of Jason movies, a bunch of Freddy movies. They keep them going, but like, Human Centipede's got to be a hard one to keep going. Like,
What?
How many
Where do they
times-
find
what
the
do you do?
money?
how can you sew?
To
How many
make
times
these
can you
movies.
sew a lip?
I think
a set
I
of
saw
lips
that
on a
one.
butthole.
I think I've
The third
only.
one?
I think I've only seen the third.
The
one.
first one was.
Is the third one with the with like the heavy set guy with the glasses?
That's 2. I believe that's
it's
2.
in all in black and white.
Yeah, he like jerks off with sandpaper.
What?
What? Wait,
The
I
big
didn't see
heavy
that.
set guy. Yeah, he's a guard. He's a night
Jerks
guard.
off with sand- okay.
Yeah, he
Wait,
takes
is he,
sandpaper.
is he in both of them?
He might be in both, but I know the second one was all
Curious.
black and white, and he uses sandpaper to
It
jerk
was
off.
all in black and white.
Yeah.
That's so unnecessary.
The only thing
dude.
I admired about whichever one was the black and white one was it was actually shot kind of well. Like the lighting was good. Like I enjoyed the cinematography. I mean, the story is ludicrous, but
Yeah. So after the friend of my mom fucked me part, they move on to the talking about the prom and what's her name? I want to call her
Terry?
Joyce. Terry wants to help him find a prom date.
right.
Remember, and he's like trying to give him confidence, like acting like a real best friend. But she gets kind of pissy when he's like gets a date.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, then she transforms him. Gives him new haircut.
Oh, that's right.
and
That's
then-
right. I
And
forget.
then he
new
becomes
dreads.
the
He looks
The hipster.
He looks significantly better, but I like the way his hair was the first. But she did dress
Well,
him
hair
better.
was down, then hair was slicked back.
Slicked back, yeah.
yeah. It was kind of like almost
And
a
then he got the
pompadour, wasn't it?
He was like the nutty professor. It turns into
Yeah,
Love.
he got
Like,
the confidence.
He got real suave all
He
of a
got the
sudden.
confidence to talk to girls, and he delivered a wonderful speech in the lunchroom.
The lunchroom.
Yeah, calling out the little guy, which is identical. If you guys ever seen 17 again, Zac Efron delivers the same exact speech.
Oh, really?
In the lunchroom, talking about why that guy's a bully. It's either he has daddy issues or he has a small wiener.
Small
Was it
wiener.
like almost word for word?
Almost, it might as well be. They were both in a school lunchroom. Everybody was staring at the antagonist, and they were delivering their
Would
speeches.
you put money that Jeff Franklin was involved with both movies?
I'm on it.
Thank God for
I'm gonna look
Google.
right now.
Man,
Thank
see,
God for
so
Google.
when you if you're like a celebrity, you can get Google alerts, right? If someone
Yeah,
if
you can
something's-
get Google alert for anything
like all of
you
a
want.
sudden he's saying, why is my IMDb page getting a ton of hits today?
Well, does it work like that?
I don't know how it works.
I don't know how it works either. I thought maybe if someone wrote something about
Do
you.
you think maybe his cryogenic chamber unfreezes when he gets enough hits?
All right, for instance,
time to make another show.
When we upload this episode and we tag all the actors in it, then I'm sure one of these fucking people are getting a Google alert like, shitting, and then they'll be like, oh fuck, what is Video Store Rewind and what the fuck are they talking about?
Right.
So we're at the prom. Are we at the prom?
Yeah. So Terry got her best friend. What's her name? Denise. Terry
Denise,
got
yes,
Denise
Denise.
to pose as her date.
Oh, yeah.
And then she starts hanging out with one of the band members. Yeah, the guitarist from the band member. Boy, is that band suck.
Oh, wait, hold on. We skipped over a part where they go out to the little rock and campsite where the school slut's trying to sleep with Terry.
Oh, she's trying to fuck so
Yeah,
hard.
and she's like, it can't be that small. And she says something like, oh, you know, something like, oh, yeah, you'd be surprised. And then a sock falls out of her.
Right.
Yeah, she reaches in to grab it and pulls a sock out. And she's like, don't be
And it was
embarrassed.
almost one of those moments where it was like, wah, 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 because she was like, oh, what did I do? I shouldn't
But
do
wasn't
that.
the girls? She's like, sorry. It's like, no, it's kind of. Didn't she say like, oh, it's flattering or something?
And
Yeah,
and that's true.
yeah,
It's flattering.
something like
And another fucked up part is where
kind of pathetic.
the school slut hooked up the Kevin is his name in the movie.
Was it the college boy?
No,
Buddy.
Buddy. No, not Buddy. Her love interest. Or who's her love interest?
Rick Morehouse.
Rick. That's right. Rick Morehouse. The
do
school
I know
slut
his-
sets up Rick with her like younger sister. She's like 12.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah. She just did it so she could catch that Terry dick, but Terry doesn't have a dick.
But he was a pretty good wingman because he's like, oh yeah, I'll go with her.
Yeah. He's talking about.
How do we know what they did?
My Little Pony. They didn't do anything.
Dude, it's the 80s.
Man,
Everyone's drinking beer. No parents are around.
I'm sure at this point, because Rick looks like he's 45, he's probably not allowed within a school zone already. He doesn't want to go to prison that long.
Right.
So yeah, we skipped over that. And how does she get out of that? Doesn't she?
Well,
doesn't
Kevin
she get?
comes to the prom to sabotage.
No,
to,
no.
confront
When
her,
they
right?
when they go out and they're by the rocks and they're drinking, and that chick
how
is
do they get
trying.
out of that?
Yeah.
Oh.
Doesn't Terry get the school slut Sandy totally hammered and makes her pass out or something like? To get away from that after the whole sock fiasco, do you guys remember? I don't remember.
She's feeding her beers like crazy,
Yeah.
over and over. And remember that's when she's all hung over.
Yes.
And her boyfriend's there, her real boyfriend's there, and she's got to like wash her makeup off, or no, put makeup on,
Right.
and put chick clothes on.
Yeah. Okay.
Terry, where were you this evening? Why do you smell like booze?
Why does he sound like Sean?
He does.
Because he has that butt chin voice.
Yes, he does. If you listen to it again, he
the
does
really
for
strong,
sure.
the really strong jaw. Like I don't.
So
want you
if we're
here.
at the senior prom, this is towards the end of the movie. Also, this is an expedited episode of Video Store Rewind. I feel like because there's not too many cinematic masterpieces that we can talk that we can talk about for so long. We can't stretch this movie out that long, guys, because there's not really that much going on.
Hey, there'll
here.
be longer episodes. And maybe
it's
somebody's
gonna vary.
even like, good, this needs to end.
Yes, exactly. So we're at the senior prom. We can't skip the fact that at the senior prom, Greg Tolan, Willie Zabka.
Please, let's talk about the band first.
Oh, I was going to say he picks a fight with Rick Morehouse, but go
hate
ahead.
that
Let's
band
talk
so
about
much.
this band.
That drummer is going way too hard.
He's got a lot of passion.
You can't go too hard, bro.
Richie,
How are you going to go
They
too
were
hard?
playing a slow song, I believe. He was going way
He's
too
just
hard.
fucking sweat pouring off him.
Yeah, he looked like a little
He's still all these fills and
picture Phil Collins, but like in the Island of Dr. Moreau crossover with Phil Collins. That's what he looks like. Like that's what the guy looked like.
Oh my god!
Have you guys ever heard something like that?
No,
I did just now.
I can't get it out of my head now. It's fucking terrible. So Greg picks a fight with Rick. What was the context of the fight?
Well, first he slipped his gloves on.
Oh yeah, his fingerless weightlifting gloves.
His fingerless weightlifting gloves.
Fingerless gloves, man.
The
Just something I don't ever want to be a part of right there, I feel like.
what? How did the fight start?
I don't remember. I just know that Rick fucking
Well, because
knocks
Rick
his
is
ass.
going to the prom with
His ex.
with William Zabka's.
That's correct.
girlfriend.
That's what. Yeah.
Oh, he's taking the hottest chick at that school.
Because his girlfriend was like impressed by him standing up to Greg.
Right.
So she's like, now she likes him.
I want to point that out too. Most douchebag girlfriends in 80s movies that are side characters are usually bitchy with them. She, the entire time, was like, you are such an asshole.
She knows he's a douche. It's undeniable.
I liked her character.
Listen, you cannot walk around wearing fingerless weightlifting gloves all the time and not be a fucking just human piece of shit.
You don't like karate.
So Rick knocks fucking Willie Zabka, a.k.a. Greg Tolan, the fuck out. He's
Doesn't
the
he
hero.
throw him in the water?
Well, Terry jumps in, and he thinks he's a guy still, so he throws her into the water. Then Buddy runs in and is like, "Hey, you can't do that to my sister!" And then like half the people are like, "Fuck, sister."
Yeah, right. So that's
Buddy
what
convinces, he tricks Rick to bring him to the dance, right?
That was an awesome part.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, no, not Rick, but
Yeah, Rick.
Is it Rick?
The
Rick, Terry's
boyfriend.
boyfriend.
Terry's boyfriend.
Yeah, Terry's real boyfriend.
What's
Kevin.
his name?
Kevin.
What did I say? Rick? Yeah,
Yeah,
sorry,
Rick.
sorry.
Kevin.
Yeah, he does convince because he's setting up that horny date at home where he's supposed to get laid, and he's like in that silk robe.
I just want to point out again, I fucking love Buddy.
He's the best part of the movie.
I fucking love Buddy.
He's the best part of the movie, hands down. Next to the scene that's going to come.
Right.
Next.
He's like the old boyfriend's like, take me to where she is.
Yes.
And he's like,
give me a second.
Give me a second.
I got to dress up for this.
I got to dress for the occasion.
What does he come down in? What does he come down in?
It's like a
tuxedo T-shirt.
Tuxedo t-shirt.
Was it a tuxedo
Yeah.
t-shirt?
It was, yeah,
okay.
I believe so.
Why am I thinking like the Inside Out Will Smith jacket on?
Oh,
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
no, because he had that silk robe on before.
That's right. That's
why.
why.
Right.
So Rick knocks Greg out. He's the fucking hero of the school, whatever. And that's when Terry decides it's time to come clean to her best friend / love interest Rick and say, Rick, I'm actually a chick. Which Rick
And I'm in love with you.
To which Rick replied, yeah, and I'm Cindy Lauper.
Lauper. Yeah. And I'm Cindy Lauper.
Lauper. And everybody is holding the script behind the camera, just grabbing their head like,
no.
fucking Lauper.
Lauper. Jeff Lauper.
What is
Jeff Laupered.
Have you heard their? Never mind.
So Terry's like, no, I'm a chick, and he's like, no, and it goes on for what seems like forever, but it's probably like 15 seconds. And so Terry does what any logical person that is going to a school across town,
busted
dressed
them
as
titties out,
dressed as a dude, but actually a chick.
Yeah,
she busts these titties out, and I'm telling you, we've talked about this for way too long.
They almost sparkled.
These tits stand down in the test of time. Probably one of the first sets of tits I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, for sure. When I was younger,
revisiting this movie, they're absolutely stunning. They're beautiful. They're damn near perfect, if they aren't perfect.
I don't think they're
and then
fake.
What does he say?
No, I don't think.
Where do you get off having tits?
That's right. Where do you get off?
Where do you get off having tits? So
it's like I'm like.
I mean, I could watch that scene over and over again just for that alone.
But after that, it's just like she wins. You know, she goes on and like, are Rick and her, are Rick and her ever gonna see each other again?
Well, in the end, she goes back.
He was really mad at her for lying.
Yes,
super.
He was.
Then he kind
pissed.
of walks away, and she's like, "Well,
you got to think. You're losing like your best friend. It'd be like Matt telling me tomorrow he's a chick, and that he's in love with me. I'm like, Matt, but you're my best friend.
I don't have sweet ass tits though.
No, you don't. I wish you did. That'd be
those SATs.
You'd be the guy that took me on Jenny Jones, and then I'd shoot you,
dude. And then we talked about that last episode, and it came up in the news. It's so weird.
Yep.
In the
local
end,
man who shoots gay man turns out gay.
Terry goes back to her own school. Her article is printed in the newspaper that she was hoping to, the Sun Tribune. She's getting high praise from teachers and friends. Finally earns her dream job at the newspaper. She still finds herself thinking about Rick Morehouse across town all the time. Rick's not talking to her.
She's fully a girl at this point. Fully back to being Terry with an I.
So one day she's hanging out with Buddy, and who pops up reading that article? None other than Rick Morehouse.
With his hair slicked back and his fucking collar popped.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So what about them? Those boobies.
Yeah, and then
I just couldn't stop thinking about them, so that's why I'm here.
The most confusing part is, like, of course we know that's going to happen. We know Rick's going to show up. We know that they're going to end up hooking back up, whatever. Right, yeah. And then Buddy was going to join them. And then the most confusing part, maybe I missed it, is a beautiful blonde woman pulls up. Oh, hey, what's going on? That's just another fan of Video Store Rewind driving by the studio. We encourage you guys every time you drive by just to give us a little honk.
I can't believe they could afford that banner.
I know.
Wow, that's great.
Damn it, Zach's dick's huge, it says. At the very tail end.
It says honk for popcorn.
Yeah.
Honk for honk if you love popcorn.
So this beautiful blonde woman shows up, looks at Buddy. She's on a motorcycle. Looks at Buddy. Buddy looks at her.
Says nothing.
They absolutely no dialogue. He hops on, and Terry and Rick go down the street, and the beautiful blonde and Buddy go down the street. It's never explained. Was she
Like, who is she?
Was she in the movie previously?
Nope.
And
I
to set that up, and
I
missed
can't
it?
remember. I can't remember.
Absolutely.
I'm
not.
happy for Buddy because she looks like she's DTF. He's definitely getting fucking laid. But I just didn't understand it.
I'm going to say it again. I love Buddy. He was
Buddy's
great.
dude, I would watch. They should have had a spin-off movie with Buddy. Just Buddy. The Adventures of Buddy.
Before you wrap it up, that quote where he had that chick over studying, and he's trying to get some. He's wearing that robe that we were talking about. He's like in her ear smelling her hair and shit like that. And she's like, I think I'm just going to go home. And he gets down on his knees. He's like, oh, for Christ's sakes, I vacuumed.
he is begging for that ass.
Would it help if I was hung like a bear? And she goes, I don't know, are you? And he goes, no.
The question: do bears traditionally do they have gigantic penises?
I don't. Yeah, it's a weird.
That's probably the one thing I haven't Googled.
It's like I'm hung like a Wolverine. Like
Wolverine.
I don't know.
Hung like a badger.
A Wolverine.
So all in all, would you guys recommend this movie to someone that has not seen it?
To someone who's wanting to see a coming of age 80s movie, I would say yeah. I would say it's a solid recommend for me. It's silly. It's dumb. Like I said, it's not a masterpiece. It's not going to win any Academy Awards. I can tell you that the Rotten Tomatoes score for critics when it was released, it's a rotten at 40%. 65% of the audience liked it, and I think that's what I would give it is about like 65%.
Right,
a passing grade.
Passing grade. I liked it, but I don't think I would recommend it.
No.
I mean, but here's
I would recommend it just for the tits. I mean, if the tit shot wasn't in there, I don't think I would do it. And that's not me being a creep.
That's why a lot of people remember the movie.
You know what? I'm going to bring that back. I would say, just because how much I was hyping Buddy up, I'm going to say, I would recommend it. Check it out.
You know what? Maybe they could just YouTube the best of Buddy. I don't know.
I think maybe we should be the ones that could create that.
That should be a supercut. Definitely a supercut. The Video Store Rewind supercut of Buddy humping things.
Buddy.
Just like Buddy out of context, like nobody knows what's going on.
I say recommend. You say for Buddy.
I'm saying, you know what, just 50-50. I wish it could be the 80s where I could say, if it's on, watch it.
Yeah, exactly.
I wouldn't recommend it as in a general sense, but if you're looking for, if you like 80s movies and you like teen comedies, then if I feel like you'd enjoy it, then yeah.
If it, like Matt said, if it was on, I would say, fucking leave it on.
Like if someone said, "Oh man, I love 80s movies," and they named all these 80s movies, and a lot of them were like high school movies.
Yeah,
I'm like
up your alley.
They're like, I don't care if they're good or bad. I just like crazy stories and funny characters. Right. And if they hadn't seen Just One of the Guys, I'm like, you should see it. But I wouldn't recommend it to just anyone who's asking for me like a recommendation. What should I watch tonight? That kind of
right on.
If you're also looking for cross-dressing movies, don't forget.
If you're sick of Tootsie,
Ladybug, 1992, Just One of the Girls, 1993, Motocrossed, 2001, and She's the Man for 2006, starring the crazy ass Amanda Bynes.
Oh, jeez,
Queen of Comedy.
Well, guys, that has been episode number 2 of the podcast that is known as Video Store Rewind.
What are we doing next?
Next week is a little movie released April 20. Oh, that's sorry. Fucked it up. Oh my god! Next week,
if you stop right here, I can.
No, that's fine.
Edit that.
November
shit out.
2nd, November 2nd, 1990. A little film that came to light was Jacob's Ladder, and that was a pick by Mr. Zach over here to my right.
All right.
So you'll be hearing Zach talk a lot about that. Give us a synopsis, and we'll tell us how we feel. Thank you guys very much. I am Rich. That is Zach, and that is Matt. We'll see you guys next week for episode 3.
Bye.
Video Store Rewind.